Hello there. I am Peter Keeling. I'm a product manager with Grass Valley. I'm here today to talk to you about reducing the complexity of APC. Want to talk about first off what is APC. It's a nice little jargon term that everybody loves to throw around. Everyone knows a three-letter acronym. Talk about where did that come from? It's jumping on me. Trying to give me the, go back, there we go. We're going to talk about the problem of APCs, talk about some possible solutions, a Grass Valley solution, and a conclusion. I'll wrap up for you. So what is APC? APC is automated production control. It is automation to help you do things faster, smoother, and hopefully reduce complexity. Again, this is one to jump ahead on me. I don't know if we're timed here or not, but they told me I only had an hour to talk, so I'll try and do it in 15. So automated production control, it's pretty much everything you do. Trying to simplify it, trying to make it easier for you. Everything from audio to your video sources, your graphics, switchers, your playout, your robotics, and incorporating all of that together and giving you a solution to get out on the web, to social media, OTT, and hopefully making it easier. So you got the elements here of APC, and a typical workflow is you've got your video router, so you need to be able to know where your sources are, where you want them to go. Your APC needs to know this. Your APC needs to know your audio. It needs to be able to control your audio, queue up your mics, get them ready to go. It needs to be able to get your graphics and say, okay, I'm going to throw this on the lower third. I'm going to do this, I want this playing in the background on a green screen. It needs to know your switcher. It needs to know what your switcher is doing, what it can do. It needs to be able to talk to that so it knows what MEs you have access to, what wipes, and all that fun stuff. And then it needs to be able to talk to your playout storage. It needs to be able to queue a clip. It needs to be able to store a clip. It needs to be able to move a clip. And it sounds really easy, but it's extremely complicated to do all of that fun stuff. It's the same for, the same kind of elements for OTT. You got a hub and spoke kind of scenario. You want to be able to do all of the same things that you can do in a local environment, but be able to extrapolate that out and do it over a greater distance. It is not the easiest thing in the world, and it takes a lot of forethought, takes a lot of workflow, and it can be done, and when it's done well, it's amazing. And with Grass Valley, we have two very, very powerful solutions that get us there. We have our Ignite, which is our APC, and then we have our GV Stratus that couples with that, which gives us an amazing workflow and rules-based engine by which to drive all of that. So the big problem is the automated production control is extremely complicated. This is something that we've grappled with for years. To go in there and set up a station with APC is not it's not a day or 2 days or 3 days of commissioning. It's weeks. It takes weeks of training. It takes weeks of setting up. It takes weeks of testing just to make sure you have it right. And even then, the issue is, I get everybody trained up, I get everybody working, I get everybody functioning, and we're great. And I've got my super users in the station that know how to use this and know how to manage it and can work with this thing. And then I have my normal users that just push the button, please. But your super users aren't always there. And news doesn't really care who's in the building. Breaking news happens at any time, and if you want to change and you want to be agile, traditional APC systems have not allowed you to do that, Ignite included with that. The other problem you have is what happens when your talent, your super users, the people that really understand this thing, decide to move. I don't know about you guys, but the industry, as far as what I've seen, everybody moves around. People go from station to station, and you know, the person that you have trained up today isn't necessarily the person you're going to have 2-3 years from now. So it's, you know, maintaining people, keeping their knowledge base up is always a challenge. Sorry, trying to read my slides over here. So the solution that Grass Valley has come up with is our next gen Ignite solution. We pretty much looked at the problem and saw that the layers of complexity, the challenge of getting people trained up is something that we wanted to tackle. And so we spent about 2 years developing this version. Our goal was, number one, make it easy. We figured that software is such that we should be able to solve that problem, and we think we did. What we have is what we call our event builder, and it's essentially it's a nice graphical interface that allows you to go in there and say, okay, I've got a camera. You know, this camera, you know, does X, Y, and Z. I know this. And build out a camera profile, and then you can apply that to all cameras instead of having to go and build out every single camera individually. Same thing with a video server. I've got video server 1. I know that, you know, video server 1, I need to have mics 1 through 6. Now I need to have mics 1 through 6 with a wipe. Now I need to have mics 1 through 6 with a dissolve. Now I need to have mics 1 through 6. It gets complicated. And we tried to, with this, we tried to take that complexity using a little bit of software smarts and really just build out some intuitive templates. And this is what our event builder is. You'll see right here, this is a pretty good screen capture of what event builder looks like. And it's a pretty simplistic interface. This is not something that requires a computer programmer to sit down at. We wanted it to be something that your average person in your news facility could sit down and change and customize and move along. And so it breaks down. You got cameras, you've got your switchers and audio and all of that fun stuff. And then under each one of those, then you have the different choices for what you want. So if you selected switcher, then you could go in and say, okay, mix effects, and okay, this channel or that channel or whatever. One of the things that we tried to do as you saw over here, this is building it out in our event builder, and this is your daily usage. One of the things we tried to do is keep the same interface for you know, your daily user, and you know, when you go to change and, you know, create something new, because the last thing you want to do is have two totally different interfaces where you get everything built out and you get everything set and all of that, and that's fine. And then you got your daily users, and then you need to make a change and you go back to building it out. Well, I haven't touched that in a year. I haven't done anything out of a year, and you forget about the interface. And so what we tried to do is create an interface that was similar, that was intuitive, that somebody can say, oh yeah, that's right. This is, this equates to this over here. These are the same thing, and it just it makes the knowledge gap a lot smaller. So why do you go to APC? Everybody thinks APC is you're going there because you want a return on investment, right? I have an APC system, and I'm going to APC because I don't have to have 10 people in my my control room. I can just go down to 1. I don't have to have camera operators. I don't have to have these. That's true, but honestly, the big thing that we found with APC and why people go to APC is you get better quality. When you go to that, that when you set it up, your mics are going to go on every single time. You're not going to have somebody, you're taking this transition, this transition is going to happen. Your mics are all going to come queued up the way that you want them. You're not going to have somebody miss and with your audio guy and, the third hour of the morning show, forgets to turn that mic on, and so you have somebody talking and you can't hear them. That's probably the audio is the biggest part of APC. It's the one that everybody sees. Like, if you forget to throw up a lower third, you're not going to see that. Your average person isn't going to see it. But if you got somebody talking on the screen and you don't have any audio, it's definitely going to get picked up. So that takes us to our number one point here is audio. That's the biggest thing that APC can offer is audio. So no matter who you're looking to go to for your APC vendor, the thing that you should always be looking at is, can they handle audio? Not just audio some of the time, but audio 100% of the time. That should be something you should be hitting. You should be able to hit all the vendors of audio. It shouldn't be like, well, you can do audio so long as it's Yamaha, or you can do audio so long as it's whatever. So that's the big one is audio. The other thing is device control. Being able to control all the other devices in the mix. With Grass Valley, one of the things we've tried to pride ourselves on and we tried to maintain is compatibility with everybody. You throw any video switcher at us or any router at us, we can control it. You throw any switcher at us, we'll control it. It's Ross, Sony, we don't care. The other thing that you need to have, we found that you need to have is dedicated panels. For breaking news and all of that, having a dedicated panel is priceless. It allows you to get out of, okay, this is my, I was doing my morning show, but now I've got some big accident or something like that I got to break. I need to go to a double shot. It's not my normal thing. Having a dedicated panel allows you to do that. The other thing that we actually just are creating with our version 11 is a tablet setup. We have we've got a tablet that is pretty much geared towards our millennials. You show a millennial a switcher and they freak out. You give them a tablet, it does the same thing, they love it. So we try to integrate all of the functionality that we have in our purpose-built hardware into a tablet, into the software. Sorry about that. Sorry. So the other part of it is, kind of going back to what I was covering with our event builder. Rather than going in and creating all of these very, very complex schemas that are set up where you have like video server 1 and you've got, video server 1, I've got mics 1 through 6, and I've got my wipes, and I've got my dissolves, and I've got all these different things where you build it up and it becomes literally thousands of events that have to get created just to build out your APC. We've pretty much taken it and simplified it down with our software where you can say, okay, I've got, this is a video server. These are the things that video servers should do. I've got, my mics, I've got my wipes, I've got my dissolves, I got all these different things. This is video server template. And then from there you can, if you got 1 or you got 20 or whatever, you don't have to have a million different templates. You just have one. And it allows it to be more simplified. And so this is kind of what the slide got a little formatted differently, but this is what one of the things that we're able to do. We're able to build out templates to reduce the size of your library. You don't have to have as big of a library to maintain. If you want to change it up, you can. And again, it doesn't require a super user to do that. And then the last point here that we feel like we offer a big advantage is in unscripted live productions. Automated control is great as long as you're following a script, right? And that's what everyone says. So as long as you're following a script, automated production works great. well, what happens when you get into, something happens and you want to change it up and you want to use an angle that you haven't ever used before, or you got late breaking news or whatever. With Ignite, with the tools that we have, with our Catalyst panel, which you saw, or the tablet, it allows you to do that and easily do that, where you can go in there and you can change your scripts on the fly with Event Builder. And so that's what one of the big advantages we feel like we have. So really where we get is, with Ignite APC, we're getting, a tighter, cleaner, more consistent productions. It's the biggest thing is, right, you want the highest quality production you possibly can get. Jumping ahead on me again. So we feel like we're given that. We give a very powerful return on investment, by simplifying things with Ignite, by creating the Event Builder. We feel like we're able to offer you something that it's going to cut down on your training time. It's going to cut down on, well, Bob was my number one guy and he left, and now I've got to bring Grass Valley back in to train up my, somebody else or whatever. We feel like that's going to be limited greatly, and you're not going to be as reliant upon us to do that. You'll be able to get your people trained up internally a lot faster without the assistance of Grass. And then with the combination of something like Stratus with Ignite, using rules-based workflows, you really can begin to capitalize on your investment and create some amazing workflows that you really haven't even thought of, with going to web, going to social, going to OTT. And we feel like we can help you go the distance with it. That's it. Questions outside? Okay. So I guess we're going to be I'll be out in the hallway if anybody has any questions.